Good morning. So I used to do this on Facebook a lot, but with everything kind of going on in the media lately, with the potential reversal of Roe versus Wade, I wanted to jump on and try this on YouTube. And so I will say over and over and over again, whenever I talk about EFT tapping or emotional freedom techniques, is that emotional freedom means the freedom to feel your emotions without being completely ruled by them. If you are feeling angry this week, or helpless, or outrage, or grief, or any emotion, overwhelm, any emotion that is particular to you, given the potential reversal for Roe versus Wade, and just you could tell, like, I get very caught up in my emotion with this. And one of the reasons that I use EFT is in order to help myself really tune into that and understand it. And so my anger can be productive instead of feeling helpless. And so I'm just going to do some tapping along around what I am feeling. And because anytime you're using EFT, what you're doing is you're calming the central nervous system, specifically amygdala, that part of your brain that kind of freaks out when it perceives danger, and it kind of perceives everything as danger. Even if you don't resonate with my words exactly, you'll likely feel a sense of relief. So if you've never done EFT before, then I invite you to go ahead and watch one of my earlier videos, WTF is EFT. That will give you a little bit of the background of what we're doing. And the next videos in that series will point you to the how-tos and the points. But for now, you can just watch along and tap along. So I'm going to start by just kind of making a note of where I'm feeling my emotion. So part of what kind of cued me in today to, like, hey, Jess, I think you need to take care of yourself a little bit, is my breathing. So you're going to notice throughout this, I do have asthma. And so I'd kind of been chalking things up to that. But when I am feeling anxious, it affects my ability to bring in a deep breath as well. And so given that normally my asthma acts up when I am doing something pretty active, and that today has been a rest day for me, it just kind of was like, okay, what's going on? Where do I need to maybe give myself attention to things that might be going on mentally? So I'm going to go ahead and start here. And again, tune in to what I'm feeling. So when I start thinking about everything that this could mean for women, when I think about the utter rage and grief I feel that there are laws about what I can and can't do with my body that are nobody's business. I feel that I can feel my chest tightening up, and I just feel unsettled. I don't necessarily feel anything in my body in terms of what other people might. Sometimes you might feel like tightness in your chest or churning in your stomach. I just feel blank in my brain is the best way to describe it, and really even more distracted than usual. And despite this distraction, I accept myself and I honor how I'm feeling, even though when I think about the potential for Roe versus Wade being overturned and the impacts that that is going to have on people, I feel helpless. I feel angry. I feel so distracted. Feel it in my throat at about a 7. Now I'm feeling it because I'm tuning more into my emotions. I'm starting to feel that more. So I feel it in my throat, this tightness. Right here, right now, I accept myself and I honor how I'm feeling. Even though when I think about the reversal of Roe versus Wade, I am angry. I'm angry and I'm sad. And I am just so frustrated at the inability to be heard. I feel it in my throat, this tightness that makes it hard to swallow. And I feel it actually in my arms. That's a lot of times where I feel anger. I feel like this, just like I want to lash out, and it makes my arms tight. And that's what I'm feeling now. Right here, right now, I accept myself and I honor how I'm feeling. I feel so angry. I feel helpless to be able to explain why this shouldn't fucking matter if it doesn't matter to you. I feel helpless when I think about my ability to make decisions and taking action on those decisions, the action that I want to take on decisions being dictated by somebody else. I feel it in this area is called my solar plexus, like kind of down below my ribs. It feels hot. And I feel so angry. I don't understand why this has to be a thing. Why this is still coming up. I feel helpless when I think about it. Like nothing that I do matters. Nothing that I say to people matters. I felt like a loosening in me just now. And I've done a lot of work around this, around feeling helpless in general and around being misunderstood. So if you're not kind of settling down as quickly as I am, it's okay. Nothing's wrong. I'm tuning back in now, thinking about what I'm seeing. And right now it's, again, thinking about this weekend being at the farmer's market and seeing some of the marchers go by and just feeling this like terror of what happens now. What happens to women who find themselves in situations with an unwanted pregnancy? I can feel the emotion coming back up in my throat. It feels like a lump. Just think about the anger that I have. I feel that in my chest. Anybody thinks it's okay to make decisions about something that they will never understand what it feels like, whether it is a white male who literally doesn't have the reproductive organs to carry a child and understand the utter terror that comes across you. That moment that you realize that what you want to do is not up to you in that moment. The anger that I feel even towards women who don't understand it and think that it's okay to place judgment upon somebody. And I think about how all of this has played out in the last couple of years with the pandemic and masks and vaccines. And this just, my helplessness is really stemming towards what feels like this inability for human beings to accept that we are going to feel differently about things and have different thoughts about things, and that it doesn't have to be right or wrong. We don't have to categorize things as a right or wrong in those moments. We just have to listen to somebody else. I'm starting to calm down just a little more, just having talked some of this out. And sometimes that's what happens. Still have my anger. I still feel sad, but my head feels clearer. What was like a 7 in my throat feels much less like just like a residual 2. And I'm able to picture some maybe moments in my life where I've felt helpless and misunderstood without tuning immediately back into that emotion again. And now I'm just looking at, sorry, the comments. So it's okay to make your own choices. Well, yes, you can make your own choices, but here in the US right now, what's happening is a reversal of a legal law that is going to make making that choice and acting out on that choice a hell of a lot more difficult. So that's the issue. And that's where the helplessness stems, right? I'm in charge of my decisions. But if I can't take action on those decisions, then what am I really in charge of? And that's where the helpless feeling comes from. Just reading the comments here. And no, I don't want to chat. So I'm not going to respond to that right now. And this is my first time on YouTube, so bear with me if I'm getting distracted by these comments. I want to address things, but in the way that I feel comfortable with, because that's my choice and my decision to do so. So I'm going to just stop tapping and tune in and just talk a little bit more about why it is so important to understand our emotions and understand where they come from and understand that there is nothing wrong with having an emotion. Where we typically get kind of go sideways is when we assign meaning to about ourselves and our place in the world because we have an emotion, because we make it mean that we're doing something wrong or that we're going to do something wrong. And then we get really tuned into like all of our thoughts, which just then typically creates more feelings and more emotions that we don't know how to manage. And we get sidetracked by, and we are unable to make choices about, from this place of deeply knowing who we are and what we want to stand for in the world. And so if you're finding yourself angry and heartbroken and grief stricken, that's okay. Reach out, get help, find support. Be able to give that anger a voice instead of making it mean anything is wrong with you. And if you need support with that, I am here. Reach out, book a consult, sign up for my email list to hear more tidbits, get more tapping videos, find out more information on how working with me can be utmost benefit in getting you where you want to be faster. Period. I like to speak my punctuation sometimes. So I am going to sign off now. I will see if I can adjust some of these comments in writing once I get off. But thank you for joining. And please let me know what you think. Let me know if there are other questions that you have on how to use this to help you in your everyday life. Thanks.